Today, let us understand the significance of Arghya Pradana. Arghya is part of a upachara, it is called in Sanskrit. Upachara means when we invite a guest to our home, let us say we invited him for dinner. Okay, guest comes. We straight away don't give him a meal and say, okay, eat and go, isn't it? There are some associated basics that we carry, that when he comes, we pleasantly invite him. That is called Akwanam, Avahana. Before that, we think about him, has he started or not? Is he starting? Maybe we will call him and check with him. That is called Dhyanam. We are thinking about him. And then when he comes to the door, we invite him, we say, welcome, 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 come, come, come. That is Avahanam. Then we offer him a seat. That is called Asanam. Before that, we will say, do you want to wash your feet? Of course, nowadays we gave it up, but that used to be practiced in the olden days in villages also. Now, of course, post-Corona, everybody is thinking of safety and hygienity. Our Maharshis have built it in the process, because previous days people used to come by walk, no vehicles. Everybody has to buy foot only. So they carry dust on their feet along with, when they come from one village to another village. On the way, there could be something like we chant the Bhutochatana mantra, which is airborne. So we call them germs and diseases today. Maharshis used to say they are Bhuta Preta Pisachas, because they are bringing ill health to the home. So they used to give water to wash their feet. That is called Padhyam. Then they used to give water to drink. Welcome drink, what we are calling now. Okay, that is Achamaniyam. Like this, it goes on. You know, these are all upacharas. Now, for Lord Surya, you know, everybody has one fond of one thing or other. So the scriptures say he is not expecting all this. He doesn't want dinner. You know, somebody comes home, he says, no, I'm happy. I'll be very happy if you give me a cup of tea or coffee. He's happy with the coffee. So Arghya Pradana is nothing but offering a coffee to Surya Bhagavan. Literally, don't take it as coffee. What I mean is, he will be happy by those who give him Arghya. That is enough for him. He doesn't want Abhishekam. He doesn't want Naivedyam. He doesn't want all that. He just wants an Arghyam. And what he gives in turn? Aroghyam bhaskaradichet, Sriramachandramurthy utasanaha. Each of the deities have been assigned a particular task to take care of human welfare. You know, we performed one yagam in Tirupati this year, in January, because the stars predicted, and in that yagam we performed what is called Shakambari Puja, with all kinds of fruits and vegetables. We decorated Ammavaru, that is this deity, and we performed a special puja. Now, Shastras say, if someone does that, in that region, there will be no dearth of vegetables. Because the planetary position predicted that there could be dearth of vegetables and fruits. We are finding it today in India. Tomato is costing 150 rupees per kg, which used to be normally 15 rupees per kg. Right? There is a dearth already. But thank God, because we did that. So what I'm trying to say is, scriptures prescribe certain practices, and if we simply follow, they bring good to us. So Surya Bhagavana is happy if you give him Arghya, and in turn he gives Arogya. Okay, those who want to live healthy life, you know, there are so many other prescriptions. I am not denying that. You can do walking, you can go to a gym, you can do treadmilling, you can do all that, you can do diet controls. Those are all steps, I don't deny that. But somebody who does this Arghya Pradana every day, they say he will lead 100 years happy life without any health issues. First thing, that is the first benefit. What he gives is that in turn, because that is a fundamental principle of Devatas. Devatas cannot be thankless. They will always be thankful to the person who does something to them, and they will give in turn, whether you ask or you don't ask. We have seen that in the history of Kunti, when we know the birth of Karna. If you have read Mahabharata, it talks about that, So they have to give. If you please them, they will give. So they say, Arghya Pradanam Sriramachandramurthy Utasanaha. Utasana means Agni Deva. He will give Aishwaryam, that is wealth. Okay, somebody wants, they will do that. But now we'll stick to Surya Bhagavan. So Arghya is nothing but offering water to Surya Bhagavana. That's all we are doing. That is what is meant by Arghya. Now, water comes from where? Who has given this water? Vedas say water is being absorbed by sun from the oceans due to his intense heat. Water goes up into these clouds and he will hold them there till the season comes and then releases. It is all because of sunlight. This is all there in Google. Nowadays you have a best Acharya called Google Acharya. Nobody need to tell you anything. In fact, we have a Paramacharya also now coming in the form of Chat GPT. So you can go and do fact checking there. What is the role of sun in rains? Now, what does that rains do? That rains are giving us vegetables, fruits, etc., etc. And oxygen, of course, in the form of trees. So the basic survival of the mankind is depending on this fruits, vegetables, rice, whatever comes in the fields, etc., etc. And the cause for that is Surya Bhagavana. And the water is also given by him. He gave me the water. So I am giving 3 handfuls of water to him as a mark of thankfulness. Like I think I told you here only, I think in this session only. Father gets a chocolate bar to the kid who is 3 years old. With his tiny fingers, he opens up and then he cuts a small bit of chocolate and gives it, puts it in the hand of his dad and says, you eat it. Now imagine the happiness of the father. So will be the situation for Surya Bhagavana, because he is Jagatah Pitarau Vande. He is father of all of us. So therefore, to please him, the scriptures say just give three times water. That's enough. Okay, this is what is done. Now, the way of doing Arghya, what we are doing is incorrect. Okay, I'm not saying stop this from tomorrow, because it all depends on it's a matter of convenience again. But I will give you the right procedure as per the scriptures. And it is for you to know, at least be aware and do what best you can do out of that. Now, the Arghya, what we are giving it, you have to hold like this in your hand, the water, thumbs apart. Thumb should not be connecting to the fingers, should not be dipped inside this water. Thumb should be apart and hold the water in this, chant Gayatri mantra, and then throw it off like this. While you are throwing it off, you should ensure that the height of the water that has been thrown should be equivalent to a cow standing in front of you and its horns. You should visualize that. Do not throw more than that height or below that. Number 1. Number 2, what you should do is, your feet is in this position now. Okay. Now, while you are giving Arghya, you must stand on your fingers. Okay, your ankles up. You must stand on the fingers and then throw it off. Now, if you do for too long a time, then it will create a problem. Be careful. Huh? Don't do it without practice. Now, this is what has been proved medically. Doctors say that if somebody does yogasana also, this is one of the yogasanas actually. If you do that, the pressure that is built on the adjacent areas of the fingers of your feet would circulate the blood properly to the heart, and heart functions perfectly. So no cardiac arrest for somebody who does Arghya. because daily he is doing it 3 times. Morning, afternoon, and evening. 3 threes are 9 times he does. That's all. He does like this while doing Arghya. Number 2. Number 3, the dropping, because this is all not said by me, it is all given in Vedas. It says, Apah urdhve prakshipanti. Urdhve prakshipanti. That means throw it upwards. Apo vajri bhutva mande haruni dvipe kshipanti. Now, this water, what you throw off, is given to Surya Bhagavana. It is not ours. It is his water. Now, if someone steps on that, it is papa to him and papa to us also. Because the Karma Siddhanta says, this is applicable universally, not only here, everywhere you can remember this. The sloka is called Karta Karayita Chaiva Prerakascha Anumodakaha Sukrutam Dushkritam Chaiva Chatvaris Samabhaginaha. Meaning, Karta, the person who does the deed, good or bad. Karayita, the reason, the cause, the person who is the cause for that. That means, I tell you to perform Sandhya Vandanam and you perform Sandhya Vandanam. I am the cause for telling you to do Sandhya Vandanam. So you are doing it. So you are the Karta, I become the Karayita. Prerakascha, somebody gives you encouragement to do that. Maybe your brother, brother-in-law, father, brother, mother, sister, somebody told you about this and encouraged you to join for the course and asked you to do this. Prerakascha. And then finally the Anumodakaha, that means the approver. Unless your wife approves you to do the Sandhya Vandanam, you cannot do. If he says, what is this nonsense in the morning? Stop this nonsense, I am not able to sleep. You can do? No. That is what Paramacharya of Kanchi says. If dharma is there in this universe, it is because of the women, not because of men. Anyway, that's a different subject. So, Karta Karayita Chaiva Prerakascha Anumodakaha. Sukrutam Dushkritam Chaiva, good or bad, Chatvaris Samabhagina. All the 4 will be given equal. Right? That's what is there even in our Siksha Smriti, what we call constitution, what we call the penal code, Indian penal code or US penal, whatever be the country. They say the person abetment of a crime is also a crime. Encouragement of a crime is also a crime. So therefore, they also deserve punishment and they will also be punished. Okay, so coming back to dropping of water. So therefore, we should ensure that nobody steps on that. And therefore, scriptures prescribed, suggested, stand on the banks of the river, of a flowing river, take water in your hand and then throw it into the river so that it goes. Nobody can step. That is the reason why all these agraharas, our fathers and grandfathers and forefathers, lived near flowing waters, rivers only. All agraharas were built near the rivers. Now, gradually things are changing. We are getting into modernized world. No river for any city. It is all pipeline water only. Piped waters are coming in and then they are stored in overhead tanks. And from the overhead tanks, it is coming into the triple bedroom or double bedroom or whatever be the flat. It is a multi-storied building where many people share the floor and also the space. So that is a kind of accommodation that is coming in now. So transition has happened now, but still some people still practice. Because we say bhumi. Bhumi means one definition for bhumi is earth. Yes, we know that Hiranyaksha drowned the entire bhumi into oceans and Mahavishnu had to take Varaha Avatara to pull it out of that. Right? We know that. That is called bhumi. Now here, just think a minute. Problem is we don't think about our Puranas. We just hear and then leave it like that. If Hiranyaksha has drowned entire bhumi, then how did Hiranyakashyapa live? He was surviving there. He is on this bhumi only. So it is not entire bhumi. It is only one part of the area which got submerged in waters. Just like now we are seeing Delhi. Delhi is submerging in waters. Yamuna is overflown and it is submerging into the waters now. So The point is here, when you say something, it should be taken in the context. So water does not necessarily mean flowing of water alone. If you can leave it in the, even a drop of water is called Ganga. In our scriptures, they say, if you go to some traditionally orthodox people, they don't say, give me water. They will say, give me Ganga. They use the word only Ganga. Ganga means a tumbler of water, or a droplet of water also is called Ganga. So therefore, over a period of time, Mahanubhavas like Kanchi Paramacharya, Chandrasekhara Swami, Mahaswami, Gal, etc. have started redefining. Sringeri, Mahaswami, etc. They all started giving alternate ways of doing it. So now the prevailing alternate way is keep a wet cloth with you and then drop the Arghyam onto the wet cloth so that the water is given into the water and nobody can step on that. Now, even that is not possible, then okay, drop it in the plate. That's all we are doing finally now. Most of us, we do that same thing. Okay. So this is what the Arghya. Now, why should I throw water? Next question comes. First, I will give you the story behind this as given in Puranas. Then we will try to understand from the current day, modern day, scientific meaning, we'll try to understand. Okay, the Puranas say like this, the story goes like this. There are two asuras, that means Rakshasas, demons, by name Mandehadas. They have done a penance to please Lord Brahma, and finally Brahma appeared before them. That is the job of Brahma. Whoever does penance, he will appear. Even if you and I do, he will appear. And he will give boon, because that's what I said, that when Devatas appear, they have to give something. They just don't disappear just like that and talk to you and say hello, hi, and then go. No. That is what is prescribed to us also. When you go to see a patient or an older person or a guru or a sannyasi, don't go empty-handed. That's what Devatas also, for them, the dharma is when they appear, they don't go back empty-handed. As men, as human beings, we may not practice dharma all the time, but Devatas do not cross that limit. So Brahma appeared. Then they asked him, as normally every demon asks, they asked him to grant a boon so that they don't have death. Then he said, no, my dear, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. You are born, so therefore you have to go one day or other. Then they thought over and they said, because the enmity for asuras is always with suras. Suras means devatas. So the divine and demonic forces are always, even today, they are always at loggerheads. They always fight. Good and evil. That's what we say. So the fight between good and evil is always there. It was there and it is there. So the demonic forces are called asuras. So these asuras thought for a while and then they said, if I have to win over devatas, let me ask this boon. Then they asked Brahmaji, saying that, okay, give us a boon that none of the devatas, suras, can win over us. We should not be defeated by any of the devatas. He said, Tadastu. May it happen so. I granted them the boon and disappeared. Now, the power, if it rests with demonic forces, the problem is, asuras, the problem is they will use for destruction. If the power rests with divine forces, they will use for construction. The power in modern day could be a political power, a financial power, a manpower, whatever be the power. So you have to be careful while you are giving the power. That's why a voter awareness is required. Like other day somebody was saying, we have two options in India to vote, either to lotus, Lotus, or LOOTUS. There is only one O extra. Okay. So like that, when you give the power, you have to be careful whom you are giving the power. But now what happened is the demonic forces have got the power now. They started thinking, how do I destroy the world? That is what a great man by name, the so-called great man by name Bin Laden got power, and he could destroy the world. That is the problem with the people who have demonic thinking. You must rest the power with divine people. Unfortunately, the society today is getting carried away by various media and not able to exercise and understand and decide to whom to give power. In democratic countries like India, the power rests with the people and they transfer the power once in 5 years in the name of franchise, in the name of votes. So the power goes to somebody who is a demonic in nature. He will use it only for destruction. So these guys started thinking, how do I destroy the world? They said, Dharmanushtanam is happening. And therefore, so long as Dharmanushtanam happens, nobody can destroy, because Dharma is all the more powerful. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma is most powerful than anybody else. So we cannot destroy people. If you have to destroy, you have to stop the dharmic practices on the earth. Then they thought over. They said, what is Devata's contribution for this? Now, Dharmanushtana, that means to tread the path of righteousness, it is human's choice. Devatas have nothing to do. I want to do tapam, I want to do yajnam, I want to do havanam, I am doing it. So therefore, humans' role only is there. They have seen only humans' role here. They said, what is Devata's role? Then they found out from the scriptures, all scriptures prescribe all dharmic activities from sunrise to sunset. They don't recommend doing in the nights. We don't do. Have you seen any time the Rudra Havanam being performed in the midnight? Have you seen any time Chandi Homam being done in there are some tantric practices, but very few, which are advised with caution, not for everybody. But all generic Lakshmi Havanam or Sri Chakrarchana or Mahar Atrudrayagam or Chandi Havanam or Rajasyamayagam, all are done during the day only. So from sunrise to sunset. And Ashwamedha, Poundarika, Vajapeya, Ityadi, all these kind of yajnas are also done only during the daytime. So they said, okay, so if I can stop Surya Bhagavana to appear, then all dharmic activities will stop. Then automatically people will kill one another and then we will have fun. So now they have got the power, they wanted to demonstrate. So they went for a war with Surya Bhagavan. Now Surya Bhagavana knows very well that he can't win them because they are blessed by Brahma. They have a boon. So he could not move. Now sun did not rise. If sun doesn't rise, for first time, first day, 1 hour, half an hour, 1 hour, we'll be happy because we can sleep more. But how long you can sleep? People were worried. Now, there are certain plants and species which survive only on sunlight. Now, they're all dead. The universe is becoming a mess. Now, all devatas got worried. They all ran to Brahmaji. They said, Brahmaji, what did you do? You gave this kind of boon to that guy. And now he is fighting with Surya. He has gone for a war with Surya. And Surya is not able to win over him. He is not able to move forward. The chariot with which he is going, he stopped there. Rasta roko ho gaya. So what will he do? So he went to Brahmaji. All devatas went to Brahmaji. Brahmaji said, okay, now we have in this crisis management, we have to go to administration department because my department is recruitment only. We have got another administrative manager, chief manager or general manager, call him whatever name. His name is Vishnu Bhagavana. Let us go to Vishnu. So they went to Vishnu. He is Stitikaraka because he is responsible for maintaining the universe. So that is what is Stitikaraka's job. So they all went to Vishnu Bhagavana and pleaded him, told him this. Then Vishnu thought for a while and he said, because the boon given by Brahma is irreversible. Nobody can change that. Nobody has got power. He has already given the power to the demons. Vishnu thought for a while and said, okay, now because you gave them a boon that Suras, they cannot win over Suras. Sura means Devatas. We have got Bhusuras. That means those Devatas who walk on the earth. They are called Bhusuras. Bhusuras are nothing but Brahmins. Brahmins were earlier called Bhusuras. That is the name given to Brahmins. So he said, okay, go and ask them. Let them help. Because those days there used to be communication openly, frequently, directly between men and divine forces. Up to, we can see that up to Dwapara Yuga, we have seen Lord Krishna directly mingling with Pandavas and Kauravas and talking to them in a physical form. In Kali Yuga, that doesn't happen. In Kali Yuga, it is only in the mental form. I told you other day that both Suras and Asuras live here only. Tejakshamadati shaucho adroho natimanitaha bhavanti sampadam daivim. This is what Gita says. Dambo darpo vimanascha krodah parushamevacha ajnanam chabjatascha vardha sampadam asurim. Asuri sampada and Daivi sampada are built in the human beings in this Kali Yuga. They don't appear physically. But those days they used to appear. So they came down. They talked to the Brahmins and said, look, this is the order by Vishnu. You have to fight with the demons. Then the first objection they gave is, we are not Kshatriyas. We are not supposed to fight. Then they said, they convinced them saying that it is your responsibility to follow Dharma. And there is something hurdle coming for Dharma on your way. Dharmayeva hato hanti dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. This is what the scriptures say. So if you don't rise to the occasion to follow your Dharma, you are not doing your Dharma. So therefore you have to do. Then they said, okay, we understand, we agree. Then they said, how do we fight them? We don't have any arsenal with us. Then they have gone back to Vishnu Bhagavana and said, Vishnu said, okay, let them throw the water like this in the form of Arghya to Surya Bhagavana. Apah urdhve prakshipanti apo vajri bhutva. This is what Veda says. Vishnu Bhagavan at that time said, this water will become a Vajrayudha. It becomes a Vajrayudha and throws the demons. Mande haruni dvipe kshipanti. It doesn't kill them, but it throws the demons away and removes the obstacle for the chariot of the sun to move forward. It throws them to an island so far that for them to come back to sun, it takes again half day. They come in the afternoon. Again we do. They come in the evening. Again we do. They don't come in the night because sun, Surya doesn't come in the night. Now this is the scripture. Now these people thought for a while and then said, okay, prayojanam anuddishya namandopi pravartate. This is what Shastra says. That means don't do anything without benefit. Now be careful. The benefit has to be within the framework of Dharma. You should not cross Dharma. I am not advocating accepting bribe illegally. No. You have already taken salary for the job what you are doing. So you cannot take bribe extra. You are already getting a prayojanam. Therefore you are not doing charity. Charity also there is a prayojanam. As I said some time back, I am teaching you Sandhyavandanam. You are doing Sandhyavandanam. We are all getting punya out of that. So there is a prayojanam. So prayojanam anuddishya namandavi pravartate. So these Bhusura said, what prayojanam we will get by doing this? Then they went back to again Vishnu Bhagavan. Vishnu Bhagavan said, okay, yes, they are right, because that is what Shastra also says. Scriptures prescribe. So I am granting them the boon. Ayuh pradhivyam dravidam brahmavarchasam. I am granting them the boon that whoever does Arghya Pradana will be living long life, will be having a long life. Ayuhu. Now, first what is required is we need a longevity in our life. We all need. That's why you go to anybody, the first thing they say is Satamanam Bhavati. They don't say Satakoti Sampadana Bhavati. may you earn 100 crores. This is not the blessing that they give. May you live 100 years life. Because a person who lives, health is wealth, isn't it? And the life, if he can live longer, he can perform more dharma. Dharma anushtana can be more by that soul. The soul gets purified and benefited out of that. So he said, Ayuh Pradivyam. First of all, they will get long life. There is no untimely death. Long life in the sense, no akala mrityu. And this is what we expect when you go to a temple. When a tirtha is given, the person who is giving tirtha will say, akala mrityu harnam, sarvavyadhi nivaranam, samastapa pakshayam, maha vishnupadodakam pavanam subham. He will chant this and give tirtha in your hand. So what we have to pray when we go to a temple is not to give 100 crores. Because money, of course, money is important. I'll come to that later. No, don't think that money is not important. No, money is important, but money is not everything. Money cannot buy you happiness. Money cannot get you health. It can buy you medicines, but not the health. So therefore, Maharshis know this. So scriptures tell this. So Vishnu Bhagavan said, first I will give them 100 years of life. Ayuhu. Is that enough? I will live 100 years, but if it is with full of misery, so I need money also. So Dravinam, the second preference comes to money. Ayuh Pradivyam Dravinam, he will be wealthy. Then Brahmavarchasu, Brahmavarchasam. Brahmavarchas means the glow on the face. The person who is chanting this Gayatri mantra or who does Arghya Pradanam will have a glow on his face. Makhyam Datva Prajatum. Prajatum means Santanam, that means children. And the lineage goes like this without stopping. Then finally Brahmalokam. When this soul departs this body, it will straight go to Brahmalokam. These are the boons granted by Mahavishnu for those who perform Arghya. Okay, so this is the result of that. Now, some of you may get a doubt, what is this story? Dropping water from here, going to sun, which is 1,50,000 miles or even more beyond that. How can it travel? How can it go? It is not logical, etc., etc. Hold it for the time being. Tomorrow I will get to the scientific explanation of this whole story. Because olden days, Maharshis used to, because not everybody was scientifically knowledgeable, they gave it in the form of stories so that people practice it. They believe and they do it. There used to be a belief system. The belief system was whatever teacher said is correct. Because teacher is supposed to say only what is correct. So therefore, they have not gone into the logics, but logics were built into the stories. So this is the story of Mandeharni. Rakshasas called Mandehadas. Tomorrow I will explain you what does it mean. But now, when should I give Arghya? Next question. Now, the Mandehadas are going to block the sun from its movement. So, sunrise is getting delayed. Therefore, if I give my Arghya before sunrise, I am removing the obstacle for sun to move. So, therefore, I am supposed to give before sunrise. And before sunset in the evening, because he is not letting him go home. So, before sunrise and before sunset, how much time before sunrise? Again, that is the question. Uttama tarakopeta, madhyama lupta taraka, kanishta surya sahita. This is the scripture. That means taraka means stars. Uttama, best time. What is the best time? When there are stars visible in the sky, sunrise has not yet happened. That is the best time for me to give Arghya. Madhyama lupta taraka. That means stars have vanished. I am not still seeing the sun, but the light has come already. Stars have vanished. That is Madhyama lupta taraka. Kanishta, minimum. Kanishta means minimum. Surya sahita. Sun has already risen. At least do then. Otherwise, our people will say, sun has risen, so no need to do Arghya today. So, scriptures, Maharshi specified that. Same thing in the evening. Uttama, Surya, Sahita. When sun is there, that is the best time. Madhyama, Lupta, Bhaskara. That means, Lupta means disappearing. The word Lufthansa. Hamsa means a bird which flies with purity. Of course, there are so many other characteristics. Hamsa is a different species altogether amongst the birds. It can only separate water from the milk or milk from the water. So Lupta means disappearing. So it's a disappearing bird. That's what Lufthansa means. So Madhyama, Lupta Bhaskara, Kanishta, Tara Kopeta. That means after stars have appeared and sun disappeared. At least do then. So up to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock PM, you can do evening Sandhyavandanam with, of course, dosha. Kalatikramana dosha. Series of dosha will become papa. Okay, you can't do every day with Arghya Pradanam with dosha. Kalatikramana dosha pariharardham. You can't do that. You are doing every day, then it becomes a papa. Like what we call minor non-conformances. Series of minor non-conformances will become a major non-conformance, and a major non-conformance will be a cause for rejection of certification. This is what the quality systems prescribe. So you just can't do every day like that. Now, this is about the timing. Now, generally, what are the questions asked frequently is, if I am traveling, what should I do? Now, when you are traveling, you carry a bottle of water with you. Just like you carry for Bisleri water for drinking, the same water can be used for this also, for Arghyam. If you are in a car, stop it whenever, wherever it is there, and do Arghya and proceed. Mahabharata Yuddha started on the day one. In the afternoon at 12 o'clock, suddenly, because on the other side, for Kaurava Sainyam, Bhishma Pitamaha was the leader. This side, Arjuna was the leader for Pandavas. Now, Bhishma Pitamaha suddenly stopped his war and he put his bow onto the chariot. Arjuna was watching this. He said, why did grandfather stop this? What is he doing? And those days, dharma used to be there. When somebody was not armed, they don't used to fight with them. He was asking, he asked Krishna, why did grandfather stop the war? What does he mean by this body language? I'm trying to understand what is he communicating. Then Krishna laughed at him and said, just wait and watch. What is he doing? Let's wait and watch. Then he put it on the chariot. He came down the chariot and took the dust from there, from the Yuddha Bhumi, from the war field. He took the dust and offered Arghya Pradana. Then Krishna said, Baba, that's the relationship what we call in Telugu, aunt son. So Baba, he is doing Sandhyavandanam. Then Arjuna realized, no, I also have to do. Then he also started. Then, because both the leaders were doing on both sides, everybody did Sandhyavandanam in the war field. When they all know that whether they will survive by evening or not is not known to them. They don't know what happens to their fate. Who will be killed by evening? Nobody knows. But everybody is ready to die. Even when they are ready to die, if it is time to do Arghya Pradana, you have to perform Arghya Pradana. This is what it means. That is why Arghya Pradana is something which is essentially inevitable part of one's life after Upanayana. They say even in Jata Shaucham, Murta Shauchams, Asaucham we say, we follow for 10 days, we don't touch everybody, we don't move in the house, we restrict ourselves, movements, etc., etc. Maila, that is a word in Telugu. So in Asaucham also, it is scriptures prescribe that you perform up to Arghya Pradana, offer Arghya, and then stop. Don't do Gayatri mantras. Mantra Japam and all you are not authorized to do during that time. But Arghya Pradana is something one has to do. There is a proverb in Telugu called Chastunte Sandhya Mantram. That means if somebody is on the deathbed, scriptures prescribe, do Sandhya Vandanam and die. because otherwise you are carrying that papa of that period for the next Janma. So, Arghya Pradana is something which cannot be avoided. Now, what happens if a person is in a hospital or flying in a flight? Scriptures prescribe your right hand of a Brahmin is full of water. Right here, sorry. Right ear, the tip of the right ear is full of water. And the tip of the left ear is full of fire. So, you touch here and mentally chant the mantras, visualize that you are doing Arghya. It is as good as having done. When you come back, then do it again. That's okay. But during the journey, this is what you do. When somebody is in hospital, same thing he can do. Someone is in ICU. What should he do? He can't put like this, the doctors don't allow. Then they said, okay, let his son do it on his behalf. Or only Arghya Pradana, no? Or his Sishya, somebody is there, let him do on his behalf. But it cannot, so long as a person is surviving, Arghya Pradana is a most essential, important step of one's human life. For Gayatri, they said, gave the options, they said, do as much as you can. But for Arghya Pradana, they said, you can't skip. You have to do. Morning, afternoon, and evening. The evening one, the afternoon one, you can do it in the morning before going to office, or when you come back from office in the evening, you can do for afternoon also. But Arghya is something which you can't skip. You have to do that. That is the essential part of Arghya Pradana. Okay. There are some more issues I should address. Why only 3? Why not 4? Why not 2? Etc. etc. We will continue tomorrow because it's already time up today. We will continue tomorrow with this, and I will also give you the scientific explanation tomorrow by addressing all these other questions related to Arghya Pradana and scientific explanation of Arghya. Dharmasya vijayostu, adharmasya nashostu, praninam sadbhavanastu, gavam samrakshanastu, vishwasya kalyanamastu. Swasti.